Okay, the new 7% damper's on. The MacEwen 3D feeder extruder is on. I will have links to this below. It's not an affiliate link or anything. Just a great product. I have it on my CR10S and my other Ender 3, obviously you saw in the previous section. And one reason why I like this, they have Capricorn tubing going into the feeder, so where your filament goes in, you don't have to worry about any kind of getting it roughed up or oil on it from your Z screw. Also, you have complete tension control. You have an M4 coming in as it holds it in place. You have another M4 coming in the back, but you have an M5 that goes into the spring. So when you push or turn it to go in, it increases the tension. You have a really great brass feeder here, and you have an option to put in like a hardened steel one. I have one, haven't done it yet. In the instructions, they talk about lowering your extrusion rate by 3% or something like that. And also, when you're talking about soft filaments, you have a really nice adjustable machined screw going in that keeps your filament from getting bunched up, and a really nice Bowden attachment, high quality. So especially when you're doing lots of retractions, you're not pulling in and out of the Bowden tube. This holds it like a vise. And also another thing, MacEwen 3D has this STL for your cables for your hot end and your fans wires to attach to. So we're going to start putting this together. Next mod will be we're going to take apart the hot end fan, and we have a micro Swiss full metal hot end. We're going to extend on that, and we'll come back and show you what we're going to put on that in the next section. Okay, we are back for the next mod. We're going to take the hot end apart, we'll take the fan trap, get rid of it. We're probably get rid of this heat block too. I have the micro Swiss full metal hot end, put all that together, and then we're going to swap out to the Hero Me. I have this on my other Ender 3, love it. And we're going to make the cooling fan modular. So we have the, this is what, a 40 millimeter by 10 blower fan. We have the adapter for that. It basically clicks on the bottom. You have two M2s that's secured in place. And then we have an M5015 blower fan adapter. It does the same thing. It both cools on both sides. Basically, this uses a bigger fan with a lot more air. This would be great for overhangs. And then we have JSTs to connect everything together, make it modular. We have the pre-wired GSTs here. So I'll use a female connector for the wiring harness that goes into the printer. There's not a lot of wire to work with on this small fan, so I'll use one of the pre-wired male adapters there. And then I also have the these are non-wired, obviously, or basically raw. So we have basically the plastic housings. We'll use a male one there, and we'll use the male pieces there. And just like I did on the Anycubic Mega, when I changed those fans out, basically use the crimping pliers on that to put that together. So we'll have a choice of fans when you want to swap them out or not. I don't know if it's a big deal. If you're doing some kind of part that doesn't need a lot of cooling, you can just put the other part on. Or if you're going to do something that's got a lot of overhangs, like I do a lot of terrain, like that terrain, you need a lot of overhangs that you have to worry about. You know, that shredded looking spaghetti mix. This will cool it down faster and have a better print. So we'll put all this together and come back. Kind of making a segue here. I had to take the micro Swiss all metal hot end out of the box after you put it on, and I thought it was misdesigned or not finished. If you notice, there's no Bowden tubing fitting on top. And these are original ones I've had for my CR10S. I have somehow had color coded. This is a full metal hot end micro Swiss, the original one, and this is the flexible friendly one. And you notice they have fittings. Well, I called Tiny Machines, and I didn't think they'd answer because it was a little bit after their hours on Saturday. Chris answered, he goes, no, they redesigned, don't take it apart. So you can see there, it's got the little black fitting. I thought it was just a plug. There's little metal prongs, and then that plastic fitting. Where do I have an extra one laying around here? With the extra parts and the scrub screws. And another thing is kind of cool with the new redesign, or I don't know if it's a redesign, they include a wrench now, because the heat brake has a little tightening mechanism, or like a, you know, slots on it to tighten. There's not a wrench in the world that I have or could find any local hardware stores that will fit in that little area right there. So that's awesome. Another thing I did, I upgraded this grub screw. Those black ones, they sometimes strip out, so I bought some stainless steel ones on Amazon and inserted that, so this thing is locked in. I'm still going to have to heat this up and tighten everything again, give it, once it heats up and expands, and tighten it and let it cool down again. So that's where we are right now. So I'm going to put it all together, and I can take it apart later and do the heat up and tighten and cool down. So, see you in a second. Okay, it is all installed. I'm just using the 4010 fan right now. I'm going to do another video about how to make all this modular and put the JSTs on. That's going to take too long just for this little adding mods onto it. So this looks great. Full access to the top of the... I'm not sure if I really dig these new fittings because it's not hard to take it out, but it's just hard to get in there. I'm going to have to take everything apart. I can't just pop it down. I guess I can get some pliers down in there. So that's all working great. Everything's moving good. So we'll be back with the next mod. Okay, we're going on to the next mod. This is the stock power supply, 24 volt that comes with the Ender 3. I had a problem with this when I opened it up. I took one of the screws out, if you can see this. This thing's all fractured. There you go, you can see all, I mean, the whole case is cracked up, it's about to fall apart. I contacted Creality because I bought this through eBay. I made an offer on their store and they accepted it. And I emailed them and they got back to me promptly, but they gave me a link to Thingiverse to print my own case out, not send me a new injected molded case. But no big deal, I'm changing it out anyways. So this is a Meanwell power supply. Let me get it around so you can see what it is. LRS 35024. Obviously very streamlined, and it'll be more reliable. I have an NES 350 on my, it's a 12 volt on my CR10S. It works great, very reliable. I've heard bad stories about the Ender 3 power supplies. I have no problems with my other one. And here is the adapter for it. I'll put the link below, obviously. And the gentleman that designed this made some comments about changing screw size. So for the frame, I'm changing from M20s to M16s. So this is where it connects to the actual gantry right there. Then you see the screw that I pulled out, that's an M8. So I'm going down to M6s because this is going to be attaching on the side. And obviously with a streamlined machine, you still have the same electronics inside. So there might be a chance for a screw hitting something and shorting out. So I'm just playing it safe. So I'm going to put this together real quick. And oh, another thing. Instead of everything running out of the bottom, this is going to sit on the frame. So give it a little more support so you're not, you won't have any space underneath it. So you have the power cord coming out of the side here. And then on the back, this is where, instead of the side, let me show you what I mean. Obviously, if you have an Ender 3, you already know. So this is on the side, you have the power switch and the power cord going in. So this will all come off the back now. I'm not sure how more ergonomic that's going to be, but it'll, that's what I just wanted to try it out. So I'll put this all together and come back and show it to you. Okay, when I took those screws out, it fell apart. So glad, good riddance on that. Also, all the wires stuffed in here. I mean, they really, made it as small as possible. I love, I can see inside of here. There is so much room, especially if you're going to put any kind of accessories, like you want to run your Pi off of this. You have rooms for bucks or any kind of down converters for like 24 to 12. I'm going to be doing a LED system on this, and I want to run it around the gantry so I can actually put the converter in here, and there's plenty of room that I can run the wires out to the switch and the switch to the 12 volt LEDs. So I'm going to put this together and put it on the machine, and we'll finish that part of the mod. Okay, it is on and running. So I'm going to upgrade the firmware soon. Might do that in this video series. So everything's running good. I had some extra clips from my other Ender 3, and they're on the back. So it's got the power supply cable out of the way. And then we're on to the next mod. Okay, this is the final mod I'm doing in this series. So it's basically all physically modded, no firmware. And the other fans, I'm going to do that in a separate video also, where I'm going to be adding JST wires so I can add another 5015 fan to add some more cooling if I need it. So The last mod is this filler spool holder. This is actually the Creality factory bracket that fits on with the M5s. And if you see my previous videos, I have this on my other Ender 3, and I designed an adapter for my Anycubic i3 Mega Ultra Base. So this is a multi-pieces. You have a spool in the middle with bearings, so you have no drag whatsoever. This thing just is free. There's no scraping. So I noticed on my original spool holder, you can hear it drag, especially when it gets down to the lower thing, or the lower amounts of filament. You can start hearing it dragging a little bit. And I don't know how much it affects the print. I doubt if it does at all. But this is just really smooth. You're not having any pull on your motor at all. And I have this filament guide. I'll have links to that too. This is something everyone should have on their Ender 3. Then with the MacEwen 3D, it has the Capricorn tubing coming out. Another way of changing the geometry of how the filament's feeding in the machine to make it a little bit easier. And we're doing a test print. This is the maiden print on the machine. This is not a regular benchy. This is Ben the floating benchy. When we finish up this video, I'll show you how it turned out. And I'm using some generic eBay filament that I kind of really like using. It's very high quality prints and very affordable. I'll put links to that too below. So we'll see you in a second. So we'll finish the video up here. Actually, all these mods worked really well. I noticed one thing. I think the heat of this thing's a little more efficient with heat. Had a little bit of strain because this is Filament Frenzy's Ender 3 simplified 3D profile, and I've never had this kind of stringing before. So it's got to be doing this, and I'm using the same filament I use on most of my machines. So maybe a little more efficient, and you can see a little bit of stringing here and there, but look at those posts on the railing. Those are dialed in. Those are a little over 1 millimeter wide. So it really tested the machine's ability out. And that is a really clean stacking, and the cooling's working really well. But like I said, a little bit of stringing. That was string on there, but look at that. Look at this, an amazing print. And nice on the bottom, maybe a little more leveling, but nice BuildTak popped right off. So we'll leave it right there. Thank you for joining me. We'll be doing videos now on flashing firmware and doing the JSTs to change out cooling fans in the future. Thanks again.